World War II ended. Hayashi Shonosuke had saved the company by shifting their focus to movies and dance performances, and he was now company president. In the 1950s, Shonosuke once again stood at the dawn of a new technology, cable TV. Although the first TV's cost was over 50 times the average salary, as Panasonic developed newer models, prices became more reasonable. Within the decade, TV would revolutionize the entertainment industry. NHK was the forerunner in Japanese TV, and they produced their first variety show in 1953 with the help of Yanagiya Gingoro, who had left Yoshimoto shortly after the war. Shonosuke planned on reviving Yoshimoto's comedy theaters to film performances. There was just one problem. Yoshimoto no longer employed a large number of comedians. During World War II, Yoshimoto terminated a large number of contracts with talents. They only wanted to keep their top stars because at the time, the Japanese government held employers responsible for debt of the deceased. Initially, Yoshimoto hired established comedians, but it was more like they rented them from other agencies. Yoshimoto scrambled to find new talent and relied on their few veterans to train them. Entatsu played a vital role as a headliner attracting an audience for the new performers, and Achako would be their main star for their TV debut. But he was in his 60s and ready to retire. Together, they made their last major TV appearance in 1963 on an NHK special called The History of Manzai. In the late 60s, Yoshimoto had a fresh batch of comedians for TV. Katsuda Bunshi paved the way for the new generation of fresh Yoshimoto comedians. But Yasushi Kiyoshi would be Yoshimoto's new champions of comedy. Their popularity would continue even after the 80s when Akashiya Sanma and Shimada Shinsuke took over as top talents. Popularity of comedy was huge in the 80s thanks to big comedians, and Manzai in particular was booming. Seeing the success of these big stars, Yoshimoto felt the bar for comedy had been raised. And in order to quickly have comedians on that level, they invested in creating their own talent school, NSC. Toting their big-name stars, Yoshimoto attracted 70 or so applicants in their first batch. However, Yoshimoto was inexperienced in teaching comedy. They themselves were unsure what to include in the curriculum. They taught comedy, acting, voice training, and to the dismay of some, dance. I'd like to note, NSC still incorporates dance in their curriculum and a few other class choices which may be off-putting to some. But these classes broaden the horizons of new talents and instill the basic business manner they need to survive. Anyway, NSC charged a 30,000 yen enrollment fee and a subsequent 10,000 yen fee each month. A reasonable price, which quickly put them in the red. NSC was under a lot of pressure to produce a big star quickly, and luckily, they hit a goldmine right off the bat. I won't go into too much detail about Downtown's exploits, but I will say their raw talent was quickly noticed. And behind the scenes, their kind of manager at the time, Osaki Hiroshi, played a vital role in ensuring Downtown was at the front and center of comedy in the 80s. He would later become a producer and organizer for Downtown's TV programs. Hiroshi wasn't some super slick businessman though. He was a surfer who has said he joined Yoshimoto because of their relaxed dress code. He didn't take his job very seriously. However, one night, after a losing streak in Mahjong, he realized this isn't how he wanted to spend the rest of his life. He changed his attitude about work, and fortunately for both parties, he was assigned to be in charge of Downtown. Thanks to them, NSC was a roaring success. NSC was producing big-name comedians each year, and Yoshimoto was at the top of their game. Shonosuke, now in his 90s, was once again company president. He had seen his brother-in-law's company come from humble beginnings to unprecedented success. He passed away at the age of 92 in 1991, and with his passing, the last direct connection to Yoshimoto Taizo was severed. He was succeeded by Achako's former manager, then the founder of the M1 Grand Prix, and eventually Osaki Hiroshi, Downtown's producer. If I had to guess, I think Fujiwara Hiroshi, Downtown's ex-manager, has a pretty good shot of becoming the next company president.